Myself Bijimoni Rajbangsi. I did my MTech from Department of Energy at University during 2009-2011. Um, the Department of Tezpur University and the Department of Energy in Tezpur University feel like my second home. I have spent 6 years of my life. After completing my MTech in the department, I joined PhD in the department itself, and I completed the PhD in 2016. So it's feel like my second home, and all the faculty members are giving me so much love and support. Still, I'm getting their love and support. So thank you to all the faculty members, and thank you, Mahabhadra sir, for giving me this opportunity to present some of my work and some of my approach of research in this time. Thank you, sir. Let's start the topic. So my presentation's topic of the presentation is that recycling of photovoltaic module. Before going to the content of the solar recycling of photovoltaic module, let's highlight some research area of my research area. So first of all, my research area covers the synthesis of advanced material. I have synthesized different kind of advanced material, and in these materials I have applied in different systems. First of all, one is the wastewater treatment. That means solar photocatalysis. To solar photocatalysis, I treated the wastewater. So this is one of the application of my energy material. Another is the energy production, and energy production is using solar cell, this organic solar cell and dye-sensitized solar cell. And one more area I have recently worked on CO2 reduction. So, using advanced material, CO2 reduction to the valuable fuel, or conversion of CO2 to valuable fuel. And another area I have worked recently is the PEM fuel cell, polymer electrolyte membrane fuel cell. So why I am showing this research area in this topic, because I see that most of the students of MTech students are joining this presentation. So if I show the research area of solar energy application and their perspectives, it will be help them to choose an area for the MTech project and for PhD research work. So these are the areas in solar wastewater treatment, solar photocatalysis, or CO2 reduction, dye-sensitized solar cell. It is I have worked on this research area, but I can say that these areas are almost getting stabilized. Yeah, considering the solar photocatalysis, so lots of people are working on solar photocatalysis. But the solar photocatalysis is like a system that we cannot standardize that much of efficiency it can be given. So lots of people are working on some development of material and development of reactor systems, but it is on the way of stabilization. People are working on to develop the material, but efficiency, in the purpose of efficiency, it is on the way to stabilize. And secondly, the energy production, organic solar cell and dye-sensitized solar cell. So now the people are working the synthesis of material to replace the crystalline silicon, but it is not possible to replace all the crystalline silicons by the materials because the efficiency is still lower, below the 20%. So organic solar cell and dye-sensitized solar cell are almost in a stabilized state of it. We can synthesize material, we can develop some material, we can use this material in the organic solar cell, in dye-sensitized solar cell, but we cannot improve that efficiency that to level of crystalline silicon solar cell. So it is in the lab scale only. So all that work reported till now, most of the work is on the lab scale only. So it is almost a stabilization stage. And another topic is that CO2 reduction. CO2 reduction and CO2 valorization or CO2 conversion to a valuable fuel. It is a hot topic. Now it's a hot topic because it's needed to conversion of CO2 to a valuable fuel. I work on this CO2 reduction, but this is a very complicated system of CO2 reduction. The efficiency of CO2 reduction is very low. And this efficiency of CO2 reductions not only dependent on the material, it's also dependent on the system, and it's also dependent on the environment. So this reduction of CO2 to or conversion of CO2 to valuable fuel is totally dependent on different factors. So efficiency is very low. So there is a scope of improvement of the efficiency in CO2 reduction. So this is the area we can work on this work in future to improve the efficiency and as well as to improve the reactor. So another research work I did is the PAM polymer electrolyte membrane fuel cell. So polymer electron membrane fuel cell is already a developed material, developed system. It's already used in electric vehicles. So it is also a stabilized system. But I have not worked on that polymer solar cells material part. I have not worked on this material part. I work on the system part because the polymer electron membrane fuel cell or PAM fuel cell generally operates on 80-degree temperature. So our aim was to operate the polymer electron membrane fuel cell at minus 30 degrees Celsius. For the application, as for example, in the aircrafts and low temperature regions. So we have successed to operate it at minus 20 degrees Celsius, and we have reported it. So this is the area, one of the areas that we can work on so that we can increase the temperature to minus 30 or minus 40 degrees Celsius. So why I am showing this area is that all the area where I am working here, why work is that almost all are the stabilized form. Now, solar photovoltaic module recycling is a new topic. It's a burning topic. I have not worked on it. I have not worked. I am planning to work on it, and I have submitted a project with NPN on recycling of PV module. But it is a very burning topic in current scenario. So the students who are working and who are studying in AMTech, they can think about the research topic on solar PV module recycling in AMTech project or maybe in the PhD research. So let's start with the main topic. So first is that solar power is now the fastest growing energy sources. Globally, as on 2019, cumulative solar PV installation capacity is 635 gigawatt. And it is projected that up to 2030, 2050, it will be 2,840 gigawatt and 8,519 gigawatt respectively. So it is a huge amount of solar power plant installed in globally. In India, the solar power plants are installed under the National Solar Mission in 2010. It started on 2010 with a target of 20 gigawatt capacity of grid connected SPV plants. But recently they have revised its target to 100 gigawatt grid connected solar power plants by 2022. As on reported on 30 March 2021, the Indian solar installation capacity is 40 gigawatt. So we can see that the huge amounts of solar SPV power plants are installed globally and as in India also. In the figure, you can see that the annual PV installation of India from 2010 to 2020. So from this, we can see that the most globally, the interest of installation of solar power is increasing. Why we are interested in solar power plant? Because solar energy is a renewable energy, green source of energy. Yes, solar energy is a renewable energy, and so it's just a green energy. But the conversion of solar energy to an electrical energy, is the process is green? The big question is that, is the process from solar energy to an electrical energy, the whole process is green? So there are some dark side of solar power plant. So what is the dark side of the solar PV? So first of all, when you see that this is the open loop cycle of a solar PV module. We are not considering the SPV power plant. We are considering the solar module only, because solar module is the main part of the SPV power plants. In SPV power plants, we are not considering the balance of system, because the rest of the systems is considered in the electronic waste. So we are considering the solar module. So in the case of solar module, this is the open loop cycle of solar module. There's from manufacturing to the waste disposal. And the solar module are fabricated, and after fabrication of solar module, they will go to the consumer, and after installation, they will getting some electricity. But this is not a never-ending process of giving electricity. So the modules have some lifetime. After that lifetime, they can give the energy, electrical energy. Solar panels have a useful life of 30 years. So after 30 years, what will happen? After 30 years, this module will go to the waste. And what will it do the waste? The waste will be disposed in the landfill openly in the without any protection and any care. So from this open loop cycle of solar model, you can see that the complete system is not green. First of all, the manufacturing. During the manufacturing, this loop is applicable to all the solar cells, not only crystalline silicon, not only thin film silicon, applicable to all solar cells that are fabricated in the lab scale also. So in the manufacturing part, when we fabricate a solar cell, as for example, organic solar cell, dye-sensitive solar cell, or silicon crystalline silicon solar cell, lots of chemicals are used during the processing. There are lots of temperature, high temperature are used to fabricate. So this is the high energy consumption process. And again, for the processing of this during the manufacturing, we are using hazardous component for synthesis of material and processing of material. So it is not a green process. Again, when it's installed and when it is generating the energy, so we can say that it is a green energy because no emission in this stages. After that, after completing its lifetime, this panels will go to waste, and this waste is disposed in landfills. So the problem is that there is no any technical standards, any policy, any regulation to dispose of this waste metals. And one more thing is that there's a solar modules are some of the components of solar modules are very hazardous. So these components will leach out from the solar module and it will be contaminate air, water, and soil. And problem is that most of the people is unaware of this problem, that these hazardous components from solar module can leaches and it can contaminate the soil, water, and air. So this is the problem of dark side. This is the dark side of the solar module. So this is to justify the green technology for the whole process. To justify as a whole process is a green technology, we have to close the system. That means it is an open cycle. We have to complete the cycle. We have to complete the cycle so that we can use it. You can say it is a complete green system. In India, the first installed solar power plants under National Solar Missions, it will be complete its lifetime in next 15 years. So in next 15 years, the India will have lots of waste, solar PV waste. So there is no any regulation, no any policy to handle this PV waste. One more thing is that, as I said that under the National Solar Mission in 2010, solar power plants are installed in India. So considering the lifetime at 30 years, so we can see that till 2014, we don't have any end of PV module. End of PV module is that modules who have completed its lifetime. So we'll do up to till for 2014, we don't have significant amount of end of PV module. But CEW has estimated 1,359 tons of waste by the end of financial year 2020-21 from the current 40 gigawatt solar capacity. From where does waste come? So this waste will be generated during the manufacture and during the post-consumer. So there are three types of waste can be generated. One is the manufacturing waste, another is the post-consumer waste, and another is the end-of-life modules. So manufacturing waste, in case of India, we can somehow neglect this manufacturing waste because most of the modules are purchased in India. So after installation, there may be some generation of waste. The reason of generation of this waste is there shown here. Sometimes it's some unknown defect, it will happen during this installation. So the PV module can get damaged. And sometimes the material loss, sometimes that module degraded its power conversion efficiency before its lifetime due to unknown reasons. Sometimes the reason is that the technology is not suitable for the environment. So lots of reasons are there that the PV power plants fail to give the electrical energy in its lifetime itself. So that modules and that components will get wasted, and this waste will contribute to the estimated 1,359 tons of waste in 2020 to 21. Here in this figure, we can say that a cumulative waste of volume, PV volume globally. We can see that the five most topmost countries and that is generating the waste and estimated generation of PV waste up to 2015, and it is showing that at 2015 estimated PV waste is around 60 to 70 million tons globally. So there's a huge amount of PV waste is generating by 2030 and 2050. But we don't have, specifically India, and don't have any regulation. We don't have any aspects, any to handle this PV model. So to waste PV model. So to manage the PV models can be managed waste management. We have to implement some waste management technology to handle this huge amount of waste. So the sustainable waste management technology, the common tier 3 process is the reduce, reuse, and recycle. And we included here only another part, recovery. So these processes can be implemented on solar PV module also. So first of all, we can consider the reduce. Reduce part is in this part, we can reduce the quantity of raw materials and as well as the quantity of hazardous materials, and we can replace the hazardous material in use in the fabrication process in the solar cell. So by reducing the raw materials or reducing the hazardous component, we are definitely reduces the cost and and also the emission. And coming to the reuse, if the PV module in the installation, if it is failed to give the electricity before its lifetime, so these modules can be reused. The components can be reused. So reusing these components again, it will reduce the manufacturing cost as well as the emission. And next, coming to the recycle, if it is the modules and components, it cannot be reused. If it is damaged, then we can recycle it. We can recycle it into some recycle and components, and you can use these components again for fabrication of solar PV modules. And finally, the recovery. If the modules cannot be recycled, or if the components recycle is not up to the standard to reuse, then we can recover the components from the PV modules, and you can use these materials, use these components for other energy device systems. So we can use this material for another application. So it is the recovery part. And finally, the disposal. If it is no any other option, we can go for landfill disposal. So to maintain a green life cycle of PV module, it is important to include recycling as a part of its value chain. So recycling will create more job, because if recycling is imposed in the PV market, then there will be no creation of new jobs, new markets, and it will be reharvest the raw material and repower. So it is the importance of recycling of the PV module. So incorporating the PV module recycling in a life cycle of PV module, so we will giving some a life of a dead PV module, and we will close the cycle including the recycling. This is the closed cycle of PV modules. Closed cycle of PV modules. This is the raw material collection, PV manufacturer, module in lifespan, that means giving the electricity, and lastly the end of life PV module. So in every step, you can see that there is generation of waste. In the raw material collection, during the collection of raw material and during the processing of raw material, some material get wasted. So there will be generation of waste. In the PV module manufacturing, there are also during the manufacturing, in case of crystalline silicon solar cell, in case of dye-sensitized organic solar cell, some of the material get wasted. So this is the manufacturing waste. After that, they will go for installation and they will give them some electricity. During this time, as I said, the PV module can get failed. The power conversion efficiency may degrade. In that case, sometimes these modules get early loss, and this going for waste. After that, from this time, after completing the lifetime, the module will go to end of life PV module. And this end of life PV module will be recycled for the raw material collection. So like this life cycle of a PV module will be completed. But along with this recycling of end-of-life PV module, another two process we can have. One is that when we getting the manufacturing waste, we can recycle the manufacturing waste to the raw material collection. Again, this end-of-life PV module or early loss PV module can be recycled to the PV manufacturers. So different ways of recycling, and it will complete the cycle of PV module, life cycle of PV module. So this is the figure showing that some of the material that can be recovered from the recycling of PV modules, and their estimated value up to 2030. In 2030, the estimated value for this recovery of this material. It is a report. It is a technical report by IEN SPVS in 2016. So they have estimated this much of value can be, and this much of material can be recovered by 2030. If we see that the potential value creation through PV end-of-life PV management, and by 2013, if we're considering the cumulative PV capacity is 1600 gigawatt, then from this 1600 gigawatt, the waste will be generated 1.7 to 8 million tons. From this much of waste, we can have a value creation of USD 450 million. This only for raw material. So only for raw material we can generate 450 million USD. So from using this raw material and using this amount of price, then we can fabricate 60 million new panel. So this is a new product of panel. So using the 60 million of new panels, we can have 80 gigawatt. This is the new life of the solar panel. This will contribute again the cumulative PV capacity. So if it is the amount of 1600 gigawatt, then from this 1600 gigawatt, we can give the life of 18 gigawatt. By giving this 18 gigawatt, also we can reduce some of the hazardous emission. So these are the recycling process, and whatever we can recover the material. Before we considering the technology or imposing the technology for recycling, we should know the composition of PV modules. So here we're considering only the crystalline silicon solar cell, because silicon and silicon solar cell sharing a market 90%, and rest of the 10% is shared by thin film technology. So we are considering here the crystalline silicon. So when we see the crystalline silicon, the structure of crystalline silicon, we can see that this is the composition of aluminum frame, glass, polymer EV encapsulate, solar cell with copper foil busbar, polymer EV encapsulate, polymer backsheet, and the junction box. These are the components of PV modules. If you see the solar cell part, then you can see that there will be some anti-reflecting coating and a front contact silver, a crystalline silicon, and back contact aluminum. So all these components can be reused and can be recycled. So there is if we see that the total weight percentage of this material, then aluminum frame will be 8%, glass is 76%, and silicon is 5%, and silver copper is 1% or less than 0.1%. The polymer is having 10%. So this much of materials are present in the crystalline module in 8%. So it is reported that the recovery yield of this material is for aluminum frame is 100%, glass is also 100%, silicon 95%, silver 94%, copper 99%, and polymer 93%. So this is the percentage recovery of the material from the solar PV module. So now coming to the policy in different countries of the PV waste management. So first of all, if you see that China, in case of China, they don't have any regulation, any policy for PV waste management, but they have imposed EPR for waste treatment, but no any other regulation for waste management. In case of Japan, they also don't have any national regulation for waste handling, but they are imposing some voluntary guidelines for management of this PV waste. In US also, there's no any regulation specifically for PV waste management. The Fast Solar introduces some pre-funded and pre-take-back model. They have reported some technology for recycling of crystalline silicon solar cell and thin film solar cell, but they don't have national any regulation for them for waste handling, PV waste handling. In India also, we don't have any national regulation. In the guidelines of Jawaharlal Nehru National Solar Energy Missions, there is a clause it's that the developer will ensure that all the solar PV modules collected from the plant after the end of life are disposed of in accordance with the e-waste rules. So only these rules are applied, but no any other specific waste disposal or any waste management regulation. In case of Europe, there was PV module recycling was mandated starting in 2012 through Waste Electrical and Electronics Equipment Directive, and which includes the collection, recovery, and recycling targets for waste from electrical and electronic equipment, including the photovoltaic panels. So they have a regulation, and they started in 2012. In Korea, they don't have any specific regulation. So coming to the recycling route of PV modules, there are three different recycling route of PV modules. First one is the refurbish and reuse the waste module. Second is the extract and reuse the components from the waste module, and extract and reuse material from the waste module. So in this figure, I am showing the three routes of the PV module. First of all, we can see that if it is a PV end of life PV module or early loss PV module. If it is an early loss PV module, so next it is going to the failure analysis. Why the power plant is failing to give the electricity? So this is the fault analysis. After fault analysis, if it is repairable, then it go for repairing and refurbishable section. In this here, the components of the SPV power plants will be repaired, and it will give a new life to the PV module. So after this, if the failure analysis, if we know that this material as a components is not repairable, then these modules will go to the extraction section. So in this extraction section, first of all, we have to remove the layers from the PV solar cell, and after that, the solar cell will be crushed to recover the components, and finally the glass and polymer will be extracted in this section. So after this, if from this extraction of glass and polymer, if you can see that the solar cell it's good enough to fabricate one PV module again, then this will be go for the repair and refurbishment. If the solar cell get damaged during this process, then the solar cell will go for the recovery section, recovery of the materials. In this section, the metals component from the solar cell will be recovered, and these metal components will be go for the second raw material section, and it will give the second life of PV module. So these are the three process of recycling PV module. So using this three technology process of PV recycling, first of all is the refurbish and reuse the waste module. So what is extracted from this process? The first in this process only we considering the module only. We are extracting the module in the safe manner, so that with this module can be reused in the power plant again, and the potential recovery efficiency is 90%. And if we see the cost analysis comparing to the among all three, this is the process. The cost is low because there are one or two steps is required to recover the module. So cost is low, but the salience is that this module recovered from this process, the efficiency will be very low, and its lifetime will be low. So it's reported that the second life module can give 80% of the efficiency compared to 80% of the efficiency compared to the new fresh one. And another problem is that the module can recover from the PV waste panels. This module have to fabricate another new panel. So we have to have similar kind of module with similar material at similar efficiency, so that we can have the efficiency in good manner. If we fabricate a panel with different module with different efficiency and different materials, so due to mismatch losses, the efficiency will get reduced. So this is the challenge to collect same type of material and same type of efficiency module to refabricate the panels. So this is the challenge for this process. Another is the extract and reuse of components from the waste model. From this process, we can recover copper wire, and you can remove the aluminum frame, and we can recover the silicon solar cell, and we can remove the EVA. This EVA, copper and aluminum will go to the extraction or purification for extracting the material copper, aluminum, and polymer. And silicon solar cell can be go to defabrication if it is well enough, and if it is not well enough, then it will go for the recovery of components or metals. This potential recovery efficiency of this process is 95%. And in comparing the cost analysis, then you can see that it is moderate compared to this process, because they need some few steps to recover or removing these elements from the solar cell. So challenge is that during the removing of its EVA or copper or aluminum frame, sometimes cell will get damaged. So this is the one of the challenge. And another is the low efficiency. Obviously, the efficiency will be get lower than compared to the new one. And another one is the recovery, reuse, and material from the waste module. So when solar cell is get damaged, this damaged solar cell can go for the recovery of and extracting the metal part from the solar cell. So the metal can be recovered from the solar cells are silver, silicon, aluminum, copper, and glass. So recovery percentage is 82%. And the cost is high because from this to recover this material, this metal, and for purification of this metal, lots of chemical processing are needed. So this cost is very high. And again, this recovery and purification need some chemical reactions. So again, it will create some chemical waste. So what are the PV module what are the technology used for PV module recycling? So first of all, it's the delamination. In the process of delamination, that means removing the layer from the PV cells, they use technology or physical disintegration, thermal treatment, ultrasonic radiation, acid dissolution. And for material separation for separating the EVA, aluminum, and copper wire, the vacuum blasting, leaching, and etching are used. For material purification, these processes are used. And for you can see that for material recovery and the purification, this type of hazardous material chemicals are used. For aluminum, we can see this type of materials are used. So this is the chemical in the chemical reaction during the recovery and purification of the metal component. They use the hazardous components. So coming to the technology, in previous in initial step of recycling, people are considering to recycle the module only. Therefore, the focusing is to recover the module. So most of the technology used is that physical disintegration and thermal treatment. But recently, in recent time, the people are not focusing only on the module. They are focusing to recover the metal components also. For this, we need an advanced recycling technology. The advanced recycling technology includes all the all the process. That means physical disintegration, thermal treatment, chemical treatment. All the treatment are used in advanced recycling technology. So these are the technology and the process flow for solar PV recycling. One is the first of all delamination, as I said, that we have to remove the layer from the solar cell. So this for separation of different layer, the technology is used physical disintegration and thermal treatment. To remove the polymers and glass, EVA and epoxy polymers and glass, people are using thermal treatment and or chemical reaction or chemical dissolution with nitric acid and organic solvent. So in this area, we have a problem is that that cell becomes defective due to the inorganic acids, or we are imposing some high temperature, so their cell can get damaged. After removing the polymer and glass, we will receive the solar cell with copper wire. This solar cell, if it is well enough, and it will go for recover the PV cell. If it is not well enough, then it will go. We have to collect the metal components from the solar cell with copper. So we have to dissolve all the materials through leaching and etching. So for the leaching and etching, we use another toxic. We have to use some toxic chemicals again. So in this resolution, we have a solution composing of that solar cell, all the metals, that means silicon, copper, silver, and lead, and aluminum. So from this solution, we have to extract the metals, these metals by metal recovery. After extracting the metal, we have to go for the purification part. So one more steps ahead. So we have to purify these metals. So here also we, for the this recovery of these metals, and there are lots of processing are there, and which are not suitable in for industrial application. So this is the advance. Why I'm showing this problems is that that recycling is important in for PP module waste management, but there have some problems in the whole process also. So this is the I'm not considering the thin film, PV thin film recycling technology, but I'm showing here the fast roller technology have reported one research thin film waste PV thin film recycling technology. It's like this. There are lots of steps are there, and they imposing this technology. They have 95% recycle of semiconductor material and 90% recycling of glass. So now the current status of waste PV module recycling. This is the current status means what is the R&D level, because it is in the R&D level only. So this is some in the 1990s, the most research focused was recovery of silicon wafer without breakage. In for compound PV waste, recovering of hazardous materials such as cadmium, selenium, and recovering of rare metals. So these are the main focused area in 1990s. So after 1990s, up to in initial of 2000s, first half in the first half of 2000s, the main focused area of R&D is that in addition to silicon wafer, people are focusing on to recovery in silver and lead also. And in case of this compound, they are focusing recovering semiconductor metals and layers. In the final stage of 2000s, the people that were giving interest on recovering the glass and with glass with increased efficiency, and along with they are trying to increase the recovery and recycling rate. So these are the area interest on in 2000s. Up to 2010 onwards, in the first half of 2010s, the most focused area was the recovery of glass at lower cost and recovery of the metal at lower cost. That means people are trying to minimize the cost for recovery of glass and metals, and similarly for compound materials, compound PV waste. Recently people are focusing in different area of waste management. First of all, they are trying to improve the technology, so recovery technology, for reduction of cost, minimization use of toxic chemicals, and enhance the recovery rate. People are focusing in this area. Another is that use of recovery metal for another device. Generally, what happens after the metals that recovered from the recycling, they are not up to that standard to use in solar PV panels as a raw material. So their purity is not enough to use in the solar module. So the people are focusing on the recovered that metal and purified it and use it for other devices. And another area of research is recently is the pre-treatment. The pre-treatment includes the identifying the composition of the PV waste. If we have an PV waste, if we can identify the composition of the PV waste, so knowing this composition of the PV waste, we can implement some technology. So people are using optical technology to identify the composition of the PV waste. And national status, as I said, there is no any regulation of PV waste management in India, and even some limited institute and researchers are working on PV recycling. The major recycling research area is recovery technology. Improve the technology by lowering the cost and removing the toxic components. And next is the recovery of polymer and metal, aluminum, copper, glass, and silver recovery. They are recovering this metal and reusing in the solar module again. And Another part the people are working is the heavy metal leaching under disposal. After disposal, the PV module metal will be leached out from the PV module to the soil, air, water, and air. So people are working on that part also. And again, another is the reuse of the recovered material. That materials which are not reusable for solar fabrication of solar panel, people are trying to use that material for another energy devices. So these are some institutes that are working on solar PV recycling. So in National Physical Laboratory, they are working on recovery of EVA and silicon. Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, they are working on this heavy metal leaching part. And these institutes are working to recover the valuable metal from the PV panel. So after going through this literature survey and this, what is the research scope? I'm trying to find out the research scope. What is the first of all is that higher recovery and recycling that. Though it is coming to it is coming 90%, 85%, but it can be possible to have to 100%. So people are trying to improve the recycling and recovery rate. And another is the process, the technology used for the recycling. The people are trying to develop an economical and environment-friendly process. Another is the R&D is the commercial and probably lab scale. It's only on the lab scale level. So it's needed to demonstrate this lab scale technology for commercial use. And next is the quality of the material. Most of the time, the quality we recovered from the wet PV waste, it's not up to that standard to give the efficiency or input used as a raw material for PV module fabrication. So quality and value should be improved. So this is one of the research area. Another is the application of the recovered components, recovered materials for another energy devices. Globally, some of the researchers are using these metal components in battery and another systems. So we should think about that where we can use this recovered metal from the PV waste. Now this scaling up from laboratory to that practical demonstration. And another is that another most important research work area is that detailed study is needed for carbon footprint. If the solar modules are recycled and reproduced instead of freshly mining raw material. So we should have a detailed study of the carbon, what is the effect of carbon footprint, what is the impact on carbon footprint if we just recycle it. Because during the recycling process also we are using some chemicals, we have some emission also. So these are the area we can work in near future. But what is the challenge on the way of second life of PV model? There are some challenge. First of all, the quality of the material. The quality of the material that we recovered from the PV panel is not that standard. The purity is not up to that level. So we have, this is the very big challenge to recover the material with standard purity. Another is the variety of module and cell efficiency. When we recover a module from a SPV panels and from an SPV power plants, so to give the new part of a PV panel, we should have a similar kind of module, similar efficiency, similar material, and similar voltage. So if we join modules, if modules of different power, efficiency, voltage, and kind we join, so there will be some losses due to the mismatch. So recycle would have to recycle a particular type of modules with particular efficiency. So this is again a big challenge because we have to gather the same type of modules to refabricate the panel. So another is that today in the current scenario, whatever the PV modules are installing or fabricating, they are considering the performance, cost, and reliability. They are not considering the recyclability. So recyclability we have to incorporate in this process. And another related challenge is the modules become a smaller portion of the system cost, and there are less chemical so less financial incentive to buy and install the reuse modules. Finally, the summary. I'm coming to the summary of this my presentations. So first is the growing PV waste represents a new environmental challenge, which also offers a new opportunity to create new service and way for new economy. Let's use 3 R's that recycle, reuse, and regenerate instead of rejects. So this will be helpful to waste management of PV waste management. And we need wide and rigorous R&D, evaluating and training and supporting data. In recently, it is very demanding because we will have lots of PV waste in coming years. India should have bring out a draft policy of end-of-life PV management of PV modules at earliest, and standards should be developed for PV waste collection, repair, reuse, recycle, recovery, and waste management and disposal to landfill.